gorgeous event area to have an event. We're actually the first event to be held here. We were the first event to be held on Front Street, you know, where they did the, in front of Pub 500 and Pita Pit. So we're really excited to be the first of everything happening this year in renovations and things that are going on in Mankato. First of all, I want to do a special thank you to United Prairie Bank for sponsoring this event. They came through really, really well, and we can't do it without having our sponsors, so thank you so much. We'd also like to acknowledge the generous in-kind donations we've had. Again, we couldn't do it without those guys too. And that would be the City of Mankato for letting us use this beautiful area. Radio Mankato for giving us all of our sound and music and what we're going to have going on in a little bit here. Jake's Day and Pizza for great pizza, right? How cool is it to come down here and enjoy all this with pizza? And then Pepsi for the beverages. Then LJP for waste and recycle. We need to have bins for that, right? Awesome for them to do that. SPX Sports donated the beautiful banner that's on the semi. We have their affordable towing. And then we have North Central International. Thank them very, very much for bringing their semi down. And that's actually going to be the semi pole. So thank you very much, everyone. And then I want to give a special thank you to Jolinda Grabanowski. And Jolinda is back there. Jolinda had came forward to me and met with me and said that she really wants to focus herself on one nonprofit this year. And she said she wants to be at United Way. Of course, I embraced that right away, right? Yeah. And she's helped us out with today. And we have some other kickoff events we'll be doing in Waseca, Lake Crystal, and St. Peter. And she's going to be helping with all of those and some campaigning. So thank you, Jolinda, very much. And as we kick off our 2016 campaign, we couldn't do it without having those companies that become our pace setters. And those that are the Heart Club level that are $500 or more that have already committed as of today for the 2016 campaign. There's 85 of them. They're all listed on the semi. And they are already committed. So we're asking for other ones to be a part of that, join the group that is already up there. And again, it's 85 have already committed to our 2016 campaign. There's going to be a lot of fun happening with those individuals that supported that at the end. If it wasn't for, we wouldn't have a list of the pace setters we have right now, the companies that have already committed to our 2016 campaign. Without the campaign cabinet, the corporate outreach representatives who have been making corporate calls constantly for a few weeks now. And if that group of volunteers, along with our board members, United Way staff, and all of the United Way volunteers, please stand up and be recognized. We couldn't do it without your help. There's a lot of you. Stand up. You're all over. Board members. I see everyone. I know who you all are. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. We talk about how important it is to have volunteers. These events couldn't happen without the beautiful volunteers that we have, so thank you so much for all uniting together. Greater Mankato Area United Way is the umbrella of over 32 wonderful agencies, which in we support 51 programs. All of your donations go to those 51 programs that have been approved to be a part of the United Way umbrella. Only 1 cent to a dollar goes to United Way worldwide. The rest stays here. Giving to United Way has the most impact on our region. Unfortunately, the last 2 years have not made the campaign goal that we wanted to make. And the need has never been greater for us to make the goal to help our region and our agency partners' programs stay strong. The United Way funded programs help thousands of people in our region, and most important areas that we need in a region to be strong is your basic needs, health, and education. The building blocks of growing up strong. We need these areas strong to keep our region balanced, in turn keeping our businesses strong. It's going to be a very difficult for us to reach this goal of 1,900,000 $550,000. And I'll restate that again. It's going to be difficult. There's no doubt about it. That's why we're really glad you're all here and going to help us reach that goal. Today we ask all of you to join United Way and participate in the 2016 campaign and build a better tomorrow and keep our region a great place to live, work, and raise a family. I'm asking you to spread this message with all of you and interact with and join us on this wonderful journey. So please spread the wonderful message about what United Way does and the importance of having United Way stay sustainable and strong within our region. Now I'd like to pleasure of introducing Lisa Wojcik. She's a Development and Communications Manager at Open Door Center, and her lovely husband Scott, Sales Consultant and Application Specialist for Consolidated Communications. Lisa and Scott are very active in our community. You see them all over, and have made Mankato their home, raising their 4 beautiful sons. I invite the Wojcik family, Lisa, Scott, Connor, Riston, Braxton, and Keaton, to come up and share their beautiful story.
Thank you. For those of you who know us, you can know that we're going to let him do what he wants to do. We're not going to fight this. Once again, thank you. When Lisa and I were asked to speak at this event, we immediately agreed to it. In preparation for today, we sat down and looked at the list of United Way partner agencies, and when reviewing that list and talking about all the agencies we've interacted with, we knew we had to take this opportunity to share with you some of the many ways our family of 6 have been impacted throughout the years from all the wonderful United Way partner agencies that receive funding as a result of the many generous gifts from community members and companies like you. In fact, 8 of the partner agencies that were receiving funds this year have an immediate impact on our family. We already had some understanding of the importance of being connected within our community. However, what became even clearer as we reflected together on those connections via the United Way funded programs give many children and families in our community the opportunity to grow up strong. That is why we have been loyal donors to the United Way for 15 years, prior to having children and prior to deciding to make Mankato our home. Our contributions began before we had experienced any direct or indirect impact from the United Way partner agencies, and since then we have made many connections throughout our community.
Those connections are really important, as is recognizing that we all need support in different ways at different times, regardless of what our background or life experiences are. And we've learned that through our experience that it really takes a village to raise our children. A United Way is sort of a shining example of one of the pillars of that community and what we think the ideal village looks like. We don't have family in this area, so we've been really grateful for that strong village and all of those programs that are United Way funded and have really helped to support us as we choose to raise our family here. In fact, that's probably one of the deciding factors in why we chose to stay here. We're originally both from Wisconsin, for those of you who don't know, but this is now definitely home for us and certainly for our boys. They don't know anything else. Today, as you can see, they each have clothing on representing the various agencies. We'll talk about some of those agencies a little bit and give them an opportunity to share as well. One of the first programs I want to talk about is a program that isn't funded anymore because there's now a presence here with Gillette Children's, but we had received a lot of assistance with the mobile outreach vehicle that Gillette Children's would bring down, and we had some orthotics and some specialty appointments there. This is Connor's first pair of braces, and so you can see he was quite a little guy then, probably between 6 and 12 months old, and now you can see kind of the size of his braces and where his feet are at now. But as a result of that, that was probably one of our first connections with United Way. He missed less school and we had to use less PTO, so that makes a big difference to those of you who have kids and know what that's like.
And one of the other agencies we're so glad is when the YMCA added the STRIDE program, an after-school program for boys. Prior to that, Riston, our son, wasn't very interested in participating in any camps or youth enrichment programs outside of sports athletics like baseball or football. This opportunity was different because he likes to run. He's actually excited about trying it. We were thrilled that he was willing to try it and really glad that he did. He absolutely loves it and will start his next session this fall in a couple weeks. The United Way funds help support the program operations, making it more affordable for families to register while ensuring sustainability for the program operations. Riston, you want to talk about it? Just mention 3 things that you like.
I like Stride because we ran a lot. And it wasn't just all running, it was some other stuff.
Did you learn about friends and teamwork and bullying?
And we learned about bullying and friends and character, teamwork.
You can tell it takes a lot for a 10-year-old to get up here. When we told him we were coming to this event, he had said how many people would be there. I said, 10 or 20. And as you all started showing up today, he turned to me and said, do I really have to do this? So, Riston, I really appreciate you getting up, buddy. All of our children have benefited from the United Way Books for Kids programs over a period of about 10 years. We brought some of those today. Some of the favorite books our boys have had, and we received those in the mail because of that program. In fact, we could probably recite some of them by memory. This program ensures that all children in Blue Earth, Nicollet, LeSueur, and Waseca counties receives a new book each month of their own to keep and read with their families. And you can imagine how many books we have in our house with 4 boys for over the last 10 years, all those books that have been showing up. We've also participated in the ECFE Ready for Kindergarten program, which is available to all community members and helps ensure that parents and caregivers have knowledge about typical child development as well as resources to help children be prepared for kindergarten.
Riston, Braxton, and Keaton, all 3 of them, have participated in MABA programs, or Mankato Area Youth Baseball programs, each summer. And because of United Way scholarships, some participants are able to participate in this sport that wouldn't be able to, and we're firm believers that that really enriches all of the boys' opportunity and their interaction with each other, because it's some kids that might not otherwise get to participate in things together. So we're certainly thankful for that. Keaton, did you want to say something about T-ball? Nope, not today. Braxton, you want to say something about T-ball? Say what you like about T-ball. Just talk.
I like T-ball because it's a lot of fun and we do a lot of running, and so
That's okay.
we do a lot of good catching, and we do a lot of great hitting.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, we got a future salesman there.
Yeah. Speaking of sports, Connor has thoroughly enjoyed participating in the Smiles Adaptive Baseball program. He's kind of donning the hat there each summer, in addition to Miracle League, but we do both. And he's also loved Special Olympics bowling and some other programs, some unified sports with that, through that agency. And the agency is Leisure Education for Exceptional People. And they actually do all of our Special Olympics in this area. They administer all of those programs, and more recently they've been focusing on younger youth and trying to get programming and things in the community that are more accessible to help those youth get involved. And one of those programs is called Teen Rec. And for those of you who might not know, for kids with disabilities or special health needs, it's really difficult to find after school care. That's not sort of like daycare. And so this is a great opportunity for kids, again, that wouldn't otherwise have the chance for them to socialize in a structured way, have fun, do things that other kids get to do at maybe ACES or the WISE after school program. So we're really excited about that program and the potential it has to grow. Again, it's that operational support for some of those programs that helps it be affordable for families. Particularly in this case, a lot of the kids have a lot of special needs, and so that takes a financial burden on those families, so it's really helpful to be able to keep those registration fees low. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Open Door Health Center. I'm a proud employee of Open Door Health Center, and I get to see United Way funds, again, firsthand in action with some of our community members. There's folks that are working multiple jobs trying to make it and trying to make ends meet for their family and are struggling a little bit with that. And the United Way funding that we receive really helps our basic operations to be able to help provide those services. medical, dental, and behavioral health services to patients whether or not they can afford them and whether or not they have insurance. And so I'm also proud to say that we do a United Way rally every year, and we do some fun activities to actually bolster that amount that we're able to raise too. So I look forward to that starting soon. In my role at Open Door, I've also been really fortunate to work with a lot of different nonprofits in the community, and many of those are partner agencies. Again, I just want to give them kudos. I'm amazed with the range of services that they provide to so many people with different ability levels, different ages, and really with such compassion. It's wonderful, wonderful to get to work with them.
All right. For me, in the past 15 years, I've worked for Hickory Tech, Inventus, and now Consolidated Communications. And I've participated, yeah, I know, hopefully we're done with that. I don't have any more logo shirts I want to wear, I'm going to throw them all out. I've participated in our United Way rally every year since I've been an employee. In some years, I've been asked to participate and speak. In other years, I've been behind the scenes, in a more laid-back role. But I've always been ready to step up and help out where needed. And because of my work, the work I've done through the United Way at my office, I've gotten involved with the United Way personally. This past year, I was part of the United Way men's event committee. So I was helped out bring that event to Mankato. And then in the past 3 years, I've been a medium firms division chair for the United Way as well. So I help out through the fundraiser as well every year. It's also important to us, for Lisa and I, to remember where we came from. We're both fortunate to grow up in a stable, hardworking family. My parents were small business owners, and that said, both of our families had limited means. If a program such as Connecting Kids had existed, which provides scholarships to children for registration activity fees, Lisa and I both would have likely been scholarship recipients.
My dad made the trip here today, and I want to share that I continue to learn, from his example to this day, that we should always give of ourselves and help others when given the opportunity, because we may be the one that needs that help or support tomorrow. That is what Community and United Way is really about, is supporting one another as a community. Each of the communities that we grew up in didn't quite have this extensive of a network of support for youth and families that we do here. And we are so grateful to stand before you to share all of these impacts, direct and indirect, that your collaborative support has had on our family, as well as this wonderful community. So as we pull this semi here shortly to the finish line where United Way partner agencies will be, please know that by working together and contributing whatever you're able to, together we can build a community where all children and families, no matter their circumstances, have opportunities to make really strong connections and grow up strong. Thank you.
Boy, wasn't that powerful? Thank you, Scott and Lisa and your family, your beautiful family, sharing your story. It shows that all of us can be and are touched some way in needs of, and United Way helps through these agencies. It's not only the children that need help, it's also United Way dollars. Your dollars that you donate to United Way help all the way through the aging. So it's a beautiful program all the way through. Before I hand the mic over to Todd, I first want to do some acknowledgments in regards to Todd. Todd is our campaign chair for 2016. One of the things we want to make notice to is our beautiful vehicle that he's donated for this campaign, and it's over on the street there. If you want to turn around a little bit. The beautiful graphics that are done on that are by SignPro, and it's been a wonderful communication piece for us, an awareness piece that has been beyond what we ever thought it was going to be, and bringing attention to United Way and the 32 agencies, 51 programs. It's been wonderful. So no matter where I go, people see us. So of course you're right, I have to stop at the stoplight, I have to make sure I put my signal on, and all those types of things, which never really a problem for me, but anyways, so I got to make sure I do that. One other piece that we want to do is also thank Todd for how he's been involved with United Way. He's been involved with United Way many years before this year campaign. So we thank him from a young individual embracing the needs of giving back to what was given to him and continuing that through his aging process. Todd's also a member of our Tocqueville Society. Aging well, he's okay. And he also has a beautiful campaign that he puts on that he gives 100% match of what his employees give. Some wonderful, beautiful things that Todd is doing. So thank you, Todd, for your commitment to United Way.
All right, good afternoon. And I feel like I'm aging quickly here. So it's hot out, and I'm going to make this pretty brief. So I'm just going to kind of whiz through this here a little bit. As Barb said, my name is Todd Snow. I'm this year's campaign chair, and I just want to tell you that I'm honored to serve with Barb and her team. The United Way has been pretty near and dear to my heart my entire career, and frankly, growing up. As a kid, my dad resonated the United Way message in the fact that, you know, if you're only going to give to one thing, give to the United Way, because you know they'll do the due diligence, that they will really make sure that the money gets to the people that actually need it the most. And it's kind of like pushing the big easy button. If you're not familiar in how to give in a community, he said the United Way will always be the best way to go. And as I grew up as a kid, my dad, we moved about every 3 years. So I took that to heart, and I've been a part of United Way whenever I could be. And this year, a little bit different. We've got about a $2 million campaign that we need to raise. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm challenged by it. I'm a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but you know, the thing about Mankato is that it's really grown, it's very prosperous, it's vibrant. It's probably one of the neatest towns in the upper Midwest, if not the United States. We keep getting all these great rankings. Yet, when I look at some of the nonprofits like the United Way, they haven't necessarily gone for that ride. And one of my challenges this year was to see if I could add any value to the team, to see if we couldn't get that back on track and make sure that we hit not only our goal this year, but maybe try to get some things in motion so that the nonprofits, the United Way, goes along with Mankato for years to come. We've been very blessed to live here. This is by far one of the neatest communities, and I've gotten to travel a lot the last 10 years, and it's always a great place to come home to. Seeing Scott and Lisa really demonstrates that these are real programs that touch all of our lives. They're not for someone over there, they're for all of us right here, because for me, it's foundation. If I'm going to live in a community, I know that we have to serve everybody. And the United Way's 51 agencies really do a good job of setting in stone that we are going to take care of our own, and that it does take a village to raise a community, and that we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm proud because as I see Denny and Fred Lutz and a lot of the people that were involved with my father years ago, we were always known in the upper Midwest for having one of the strongest United Ways there was. And I just take a lot of pride in that, and I think that's one of the reasons, if you look around us, these beautiful buildings, it's because we have a solid community, and it's critical that if we're going to have one in the future, that everybody gets to come along for the ride. So it's really about this. It's a grassroots movement. I'm hoping this year that you're here and that you'll go tell a bunch of your friends, because as much as we want people to give whatever they can afford to give, it's important this year that we spread the message and that we have a grassroots movement that reaches out, because we need that message told like we've never told it before to get to that $2 million. And that's really my challenge to you. I can't thank you enough. I know it's hot out here, and I so appreciate you coming in and being a part of this today. I just want you to know that I'm committed personally to hitting this goal, and that if I can be of any assistance myself, I will do that for you to be successful in whatever venue you want to go after. Again, it would really be great if we had a lot of people step up to the plate and say, you know what, I've been involved in the United Way in the past, but I'm going to take it to the next level this year. In fact, I'm going to tell two of my friends and bring them with me. That's the kind of stuff that will make sure that we hit our goal and that we'll be successful for years to come. So thank you. I appreciate it. And the little comment that a guy by the name of John Maxwell reminds me often, and it's that teamwork makes the dream work. You know, we need to come together as a community and as a team and become team members of the United Way so that we can make sure that dream continues on for generations to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Now I'd like to introduce the CFO, Jeff Weldon from United Prairie Bank. And I'd like to also thank you guys again, United Prairie Bank, for sponsoring the event. It means a lot to us, like I had said. I'd like to point something out, though. I'd like both these gentlemen to come up together for a moment. Then you can sit back down, Todd. Notice these beautiful ties? Now let's show them. Well, anyways, it says United Way 100% on them. So both of these individuals, companies, do 100% in two different ways. As we learned earlier, Todd is employee match, right? And then we have United Way Prairie Bank that 100% of their employees give to United Way. So we want to thank Grafe Clothing for donating those ties, and Mr. Monogram for embroidering them. We thank them very much for that. So one of the things we're looking at doing going forward is having ties available and maybe having it within the print. So get ready for those of you who are participating that way. We'd love to have you wear these ties. Don't they look great? They could wear them for meetings and stuff. Yeah. So here we go.
Thank you for the opportunity to come today. I'm Jeff Weldon. I'm the CFO of United Prairie Bank System of Banks here in southern Minnesota. As Barb alluded to, we're very proud to say that we had all 66 of our employees participate in the United Way campaign last year. I'll be honest with you, I can't say that 5 to 6 years ago I would have ever thought that we'd be there. And when I hear this lofty goal that we've been talking about all morning, I just want to share a story of how we had a little bit of success. It's probably about 5 years ago, we didn't really have an organized campaign, but Jeanette Phillips of our office brought in, I'm glad to see she's here, Melinda Wedzina from the Backpack Food Program to talk to our employees. And her message really touched a lot of people, including myself. And that really helped gain momentum in our company to really drive up our awareness of what United Way does in the community, what we can do about it. And in the last 5 years, we've more than tripled our contributions as employees and as an organization as a result of those efforts. Two of the people that are key to it, Lisa Whitty and Leslie Vermillion and from our company, if you want to stand up, are integral to it. We get them involved. If you want advice on how to put a good campaign together, talk to those two ladies. But you know, we every year, we reinvest time and energy and try and reinvent how we do our campaign by looking at bringing in different partner agencies, because every agency is going to touch someone differently. And we found that to be very valuable and send a message all the way through to our employees. And we continue to look for fun events and have auctions and fundraisers and cookouts and stuff like that just keeps driving attention to it. But when you go to the employee campaign leadership events, the training events held, they talk about having the top brass, having your leaders involved. I agree with that. I agree with having everybody involved, though, too. And what we've done as an organization is we participate in the Day of Action. We participate in getting more people into the training events, and that really has driven success in our organization and driven momentum in our organization to get more dollars to United Way. But, you know, I come back to that backpack food example. Leslie, I told you I wouldn't, but my son's a 7-year-old boy in elementary school here in town. And this past summer, I didn't think that the backpack food program would come back and touch me like it did. That first event that we had, the bags are passed around by Melinda. She explains how the system works. And I sat there looking at the bag going, what if that was me? How would I feel? What would I do? And you know, this past summer, my son's in the ACES program, and he came home from school one day and he started talking about this girl. And for a week and a half, we're trying to figure out who this girl is. It's a new friend that he met in the ACES program. We looked in his yearbook. We asked some people. We tried to get him to tell us, is she there in the morning? Is she there at night? In the daytime? And after about 2 weeks or so, I picked him up, and in his locker was his mom's cell phone. And he said that he wanted his mom to write it down, so if he found this girl, he could give that to her so they could have a play date. So I asked some more questions. I was moved by that he thought of that himself. And I asked some more questions. And what it turned out to be is, I believe that girl was there for the summer food program. And I thought back to that bag on the backpack food program, that at the end of each season, they put a message in there where all of these kids that are on that program can get nutrition in the summer. And one of those was through that program in the school system. And my 7-year-old, unbeknownst to him, was just touched by that program, potentially. I don't know. I don't care, quite honestly. But I know that that information comes through one of these agencies. And I think it's important that all of those different little things that these agencies do to make this community better get recognized. But I also want to recognize all of the corporate pace setters that we have today that are recognized on that vehicle back there. 85 is a tremendous amount of support this early in the campaign, and will hopefully provide some momentum to get to that $2 million goal. And I really think that this is going to be an exciting opportunity for us this year. If anyone has any desire to talk to me, to Leslie or Lisa, by all means give Barb a call and we'll help you out with your campaign, because we really want to see this be a successful year. But in the meantime, we've got an event to kick off, and I'd like to just recognize all of the corporate pay setters that have reached that Heart Club level of $500 or more. If they could all gather over by the semi-truck, and we'll get on with the pull event of the day. And anyone who's in the partner agency, if you could please proceed to the finish line of this event.